I did watch the first two games. I thought they did really well. They had a couple tough innings. I think they really did them in. So it'd be nice to see them today here in front of their home crowd. See what they can get done. It's a nice turnout. Everyone's showing up. And
As former St. Catharines Mayor Joe McCaffrey used to say, the sun always shines on St. Catharines, and it's shining here today. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Barrie. I'm excited about. Or do we have a nice shot of the inflatable object, the red carpet on the field, where the players will be entering the game? That's exciting.
it is exciting. It should be just moments from now. We get to see the intros and get down to the baseball game.
And I know that there's got to be a couple people out there that are big fans of inflatable things and red carpets. Just for them, people running through inflatable things, a red carpet. Mayor, this is not Mayor's first experience with the board.
Testing.
For a long time, we had from 1986.
George was the original groundskeeper here, and he was here making this field look beautiful when the St. Catharines Blue Jays and the Stompers played here. So that's why this named it. We have with us today his brother, Moose, who I understand in this park. We're happy to have you, Harold. He's going to kick this thing off. I'll turn it over to Harold.
I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you for the wonderful tribute you paid to my brother George and myself and my entire family. Thank you very much.
John, and we'll get this lineup started. Thank you.
Yes, okay, so please welcome the Niagara Falls Americans to the field.
That- That's why you come down here to Merritt. I thought he did a really nice job on the anthem. That was pretty cool. You know, playing a kick drum and the guitar at the same time. That's two things.
To throw the ceremonial
Yeah.
first pitch, please welcome back to the mound, Mayor Matt Cisco.
Mayor Matt Cisco, St. Catharines Mayor. Pretty instrumental in bringing the team here to Merritt. He brought his own glove. I'm confident. I feel like this is going to be a good first pitch. This will be exciting. I was a little disappointed he's not on the rubber for this pitch, but you know. Let's see.
Have a post-game party in left field. We have the party rock band here for you tonight. And please go out and visit the bar cart company. We've got that cart out there. She'll be there all afternoon and into the evening. So please partake. There's cornhole out there, and we want to see you all out there after the game. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
That's the Americans.
Oh, good. Pretty exciting. Matt Cisco now on the mound. Look at this. That's pro. Well, you know, it's a little bit. It wasn't a great moment, but let's hear from Matt Cisco. Again, pretty instrumental in bringing this team here to St. Catharines. Probably wants that first pitch back, but you know, fallibility precedes us all. And starting for St. Catharines again today, Ethan Catney Forbes. You see that ball popping already, so they definitely held Ethan back here for the home opener. So excited to see what he brings. Ethan, of course, from Burlington, Ontario, pitching St. Bonaventure, New York. Also a hockey player. Actually, if you talk to a lot of these guys, as they did last week, a lot of hockey players in the mix. Kind of appropriate. Ironbacks' first two games, they actually lost both 7-4. First game was Jamestown. It's the Tarp Skunks, which is really natural for Jamestown to have that name. And then, of course, last night against the Niagara Falls Americans, the team they're facing here today. So looking for a little bit of a better result. Definitely a more competitive game yesterday. This team is really interesting in terms of its makeup because you have a lot of players from actually play in Bismarck, North Dakota, which is a curiosity because you wouldn't ordinarily think immediately of Bismarck, North Dakota when you think of a team playing out of Niagara, Ontario. There we have it. And I looked for as much.
Number 25, Grant Moore.
Okay. Let's get it started. Second baseman Grant Moore leading out for Niagara Falls Americans. A big help for us today has actually been Andrew Roberts, who's the play-by-play man for the Niagara Falls Americans. And one of the guys that gave us a heads up on is in fact Grant Moore. So let's see how this goes. Strike one. There you go. First pitch in Niagara Ironbacks home game history. It's pretty narrow, I realize, scenario there, but. 0-1 pitch, 0-2. Moore chasing that one, low and in, looked like a breaking ball. 0-2 on left fielder Grant Moore. Ground up the middle. Oh, that's a tough hop. That is a tough hog on Devon Medora.
Number 18, Dalton Harper.
All right. That's a single. That's a tough single for Ethan Catney Forbes. So Dalton Harper, the extra hitter now up at the plate. The extra hitter position, perhaps not as glamorous as one might hope, but we'll see what Dalton Harper does with it today. There goes the runner, throw down to second base. That goes into center field. That's going to limit where he goes. So that's a stolen base for Grant Moore. Right, 1-0. A little bit of a tough start here. Ethan Catney Forbes has been snapping that ball in there, so it's a little bit unfairly treated. It's outside. That's 2-0. Two and 0 pitch here to the extra hitter. It's a good pitch. Good pitch fell back. That makes it 2-1. That looked like a curveball from Catney Forbes.
Just to let you know, fans, if you hear that air siren again, be aware of the foul balls.
Yes, in case you didn't catch that, we have a siren for foul balls. There's another one. I don't know if the siren goes off for that, but that felt like a foul ball. It's 2-2. Another good pitch. I'm going to have to get to the bottom of the whole foul ball siren phenomenon because that one didn't qualify. I think it has to go out of the stadium. Just traditional foul ball siren rules, I guess, in play. Here it's 2-2. Oh, that was a curveball that didn't quite make it to its destination in quite the way Ethan Catney Forbes had planned. It's a full count. Didn't quite snap that one off. Oof! Ouch! That was very similar to the 2-2 pitch. Felt like it just wasn't comfortable on that pitch, so that's an HBP for those of you scoring at home. So runners on first and second, nobody out. Graydon Miller, the first baseman, steps into the box. Little nervous hum here in Meriton. Hoping for a good turn of events. Nice pitch. A nice pitch. Yeah, remember this whole thing started with a little bit of a tough hop that caught Devon Medora off balance. 0-1 count. There goes the runner. Both runners. The throw to second. Nope. That's runners on second and third on a double steal. Niagara Falls Americans. Very aggressive to start this game. You know, a little bad luck and adversity comes along, and the Americans looking to leverage that. Man, struggling with that pitch. Struggling with that pitch. Just misses low.
Probably better if you go that way. Yeah.
Now batting number 9, Paul Delato.
Come on, you're the cleanup man. You're the cleanup man.
Got one out and the bases loaded. That's the pitch he's really struggled with so far. And it dangerous pitch for right-handed hitters thus far. Just feels like he's not snapping that pitch off. That's could be 2. That's an awful hop again. Oh, that's a shame. That's definitely an error on Mador. So that scores more.
42, Chris Gazaldo.
And that scored Harper. There we go. Strike 1. Two out, runner on first. Ground ball again. A little better hop there. Force at second. 6-4. Gets him out of the inning. Yeah. So there you go. Top of the first is over. It's 2-0 for the Niagara Falls Americans.
We're coming up to the bottom of the first inning now, trailing by only 1 run. At shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
Bottom of the first. Carter Shin leading off. Nothing here in the bottom of the first. Pitch, that's strike 1.
Up next, the designated hitter number 15, Marcus Butts.
Marcus Bus, DH up next. Dakota, part of that large organization. Sidney Crosby, favorite player. He's out there. First pitch, curveball low. He's hitting 286 this season. That's outside. Barton's a little trouble with his form thus far, but we're only 3 pitches in. Oof. Oof. That was a tight one. That was a tight one. Called strike by the man in blue. Just doing his job, doing the best he can. Oof. That's a tough one. Force that one. Force that one a little bit. We go to 3-1. Marcus Butts trying to get a base runner for the Ironbacks. It's outside again. That's a walk. Butts is the first base runner. You're for the Ironbacks. Take him however you can get him.
Next at bat, the right fielder, number 25, Alex Keene.
Alex Keene, the right fielder, up now. Out of Woodstock, Ontario. Oh, right in on the hands. That's going to be a tough ball to play. What do you know? What do you know? Single. Runners on first and second. That one was definitely in on the hands. Again, you take them however you can get them. A little bit of luck coming back the Ironbacks' way. We got runners on first and second, 1 out. Connor Gayton's at the plate. We have the happy music playing in the stadium. This is what happens when happy things are happening for the whole team. Gayton's out of Tillsonburg, Ontario. Oof. That was a big cut. Strike 1. That ball coming at the upper regions of the strike zone.
500 here to start the season.
Oof. Strike 2. This is a better at bat for Austin. 0-2. Gayton's is a catcher. Trying to put a little tobacco country power into that. That's outside. That's the pitch Barton really seems to struggle with. You see his whole left side just flies open towards first base. Got 1-2 still though. Oh, that was a pretty good pitch. That was a pretty good pitch. 2 out. Runners on first and second still. Andrew Bishop. Andrew Bishop, the first baseman of Kitchener, Ontario. Purported ukulele player. He's been working on that skill. He put it in his bio, but it's still a work in progress. He was honest about it. Many have been dishonest about their ukulele playing skills, so I appreciated his frankness. I felt a little high from up here, but I was called a strike by the man in blue. It's 0-1. Bishop with that open left-handed stance. Oh, that was a pretty good pitch. He just missed that one. 0-2. See how he does with 0-2. Oh, That's okay. That was a fastball high and tight. Bishop couldn't lay off. 2-0 Niagara Falls Americans after one full inning. Second leading out for the Niagara Falls Americans is going to be Jake Hollins. Exciting moment here in the broadcast. I've now started looking at bios of players, so we get a little more information. For instance, Jake Hollins majors in business administration at DeUville University. I fear I may have mispronounced DeUville. That almost sounds like a Dr. Seuss kind of name for a university. Entering his senior year this summer, after this summer, starting center fielder for the Americans, batting .280 with 16 RBIs last season. Here we go.
Number 36, Evan Moore.
Is it actually Evan Core is batting? So let's get me on point here to start the inning. It's Evan Core. But on deck is Jake Hollins, and he still goes to DeUville University, which is a very exciting place. Evan Core is a right fielder, of course. Oh, that's a nice pitch. That's a nice pitch, 0-2. Ethan Catney Forbes looking a little sharper here to start the second with his first two pitches. Aim that one a little bit. Felt like 1-2 though. You know, he wasted one low and away. I just talked to Jesse. His mic's not working, but I can still talk to him. So 1-2. Oh, that's that pitch. That's another
Second hits batter of the day today.
hit by pitch for tough moment there for Evan Core. Too bad. He really started a sharp. It feels like that one pitch is the one that's killing him. It looks like a curveball out of his hands, and it's just not quite snapping enough.
You know, the aforementioned Jake Hollins.
Not a professional pitching coach. What was that?
So the aforementioned Jake Hollins now.
Jake Hollins finally up. You waited. You wanted him. You asked for it. Here he is. Ball one outside. Niagara Falls Americans have been really aggressive on the bases here thus far. See what happens now. He's got a pretty sizable lead, and there he goes. Foul ball. Feels like the siren is going to have to. There you go. Foul ball siren.
The Americans.
It's an interesting little nuance. I'm unfamiliar with the foul ball siren. But
Never
it's
heard
exciting.
that before in my life either. But
You know, too often foul balls have happened and people haven't cared.
that's collegiate baseball in Canada for you, right?
Yeah.
So
You
I
know,
think the
hold
Americans are taking advantage of
runner
maybe the
on
home
and-
and home here with the Ironbacks and getting aggressive on the base pass. So.
Could be
Could
two.
be two.
Classic double play.
No.
Oh, safe.
No. Oh, he got him. What do you know? You know, I was a little worried about the transition there, but they got him at first. Well done. Well done by Devin Medor and Carter Shin. Double play.
Ironbacks hitting, looking a little cleaner here.
Shane Prey now up at the plate. Another player that there you go. There's the pitch that he's been struggling with.
That's
Finding
right.
the strike zone. That's
right.
important.
That's a confidence boost right there for him too, right?
There you go.
Another nice
There
pitch
you go. That one snapped off. It was 0-2.
Looks like he's settling in
That
here
double
now
play.
nicely.
That double play might be queuing things here.
I think so.
Oh, low. That grass really slowed that ball down. Nice throw to first base.
Nice 1-2-3
by
inning.
third baseman Bryce Bedrosian.
We'll be
5-3.
right back after
Well
break
done.
here.
Oh, okay. What you just witnessed there was the DQ Falls keg roll. You know, this is just a cornucopia of fun, quirky things happening here today.
Devon Moore? Is it Devon Moore? Yes. Second.
So we're going in the bottom. It's like that double play was fantastic. Some good things happened in that inning for the Ironbacks. I felt like Ethan Catney Forbes was getting dialed in.
I think so. I think it's maybe just a little bit of the home crowd jitters there in that first inning. He settled in nicely here.
Yeah, and it's funny. After that big double play, Medor leads off the inning. So you know, fate, circumstance, all leaning in the direction of something good happening here. Good pitch. That's good pitch. Strike one. You know, Barton had an interesting first inning. Looked real comfortable on some pitches, a little wide open on others. Good start though. That's a nice poke.
Let's go to draw.
Nice poke on a good pitch. Single in the right field. Nice job. There you go. That's what I say. A little defensive magic translating over into the offense.
That's right.
Nice.
Gets us a base runner here.
Center fielder number 8, Keanu Coley.
Keanu Cowley up now from Australia. Played actually for the New Zealand team. I asked him some questions, based on my expansive knowledge of New Zealand, essentially Flight of the Conchords sort of questions. And he let me know that there really isn't a ton of angst between Australians and New Zealand. It's all sort of friendly banter. So that made me feel a little bit better. You know, in times where, you know, finally friendly banter between nations is sometimes a little harder than you might hope. 0-1 on him here to start. Medor taking a good lead. It's outside. That's the pitch that Barton seems to struggle with a little bit. It feels like both pitchers, kind of the common theme is each one of them can look really great on some pitches, and then just a little uncomfortable on some of the others. Medora was bouncing around off of first there. Here he goes. Oh, there's a hit by pitch.
Just to your point there, Darren, another
Seems to be a theme.
testament to the pitchers having a little hard time out there on the
Yeah.
mound today.
Yeah.
That's their third hits batsman between the two teams
That's
today.
right.
So
Yeah, there's been a lot of hit batters. It is a theme. Not a particularly good feeling theme for the hitters.
that puts two
Bryce
runners on though for the
Petrosian
Ironbacks.
now up at the plate. Yeah, nobody out and runners on first and second. Some exciting possibilities here. Bryce from St. Catharines, Ontario. Oof, just missed that one. Just
St.
missed that
Catharines
pitch.
product playing,
Yeah.
showcasing for the home crowd here.
Yeah, and he's actually been a Meriton Bulldog. That's important information. He feels, I asked him if he felt a greater responsibility based on being a Bulldog, and he in fact does. So he knows the score.
He must know the ballpark pretty good, in and out too, right? So
Oof, goodness. That was not a strike.
another
That
close
was
pitch,
located
almost another hit batter
definitely in the
again.
non-strike region of home plate. 1-1. Oh, not his pitch. Not his pitch. Chase one there. Low and in. 1-2. It's a big opportunity for the Ironbacks to get themselves back in this game. Got some pretty healthy leads out there for the base runners, Medora and Cowley. Oh, that's outside. Again, didn't quite snap off that curveball. It's 2-2. She grew up near the GM plant in St. Catharines on Ontario Street. Ooh, that was around the strike zone, but
There's a
apparently
close
not
pitch
quite in it. So
there.
there you go. It's a full count. I was about to call it the beatific area around the former GM plant, but that wouldn't be honest, would it?
Can't lie to the crowd out there.
Also a Habs fan. Struck out. Pretty good pitch there.
Up next, left fielder, number 30,
This is
Grayson
third strikeout of the
I just
day.
offer up the Habs fan without comment, without bias or prejudice.
You might have just jinxed him there. With
I
the
could have, may not have been a great thing to mention. Runners up first and second, one out. Grayson Briggs at the plate. Grayson grew up a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan. Actually modeled his swing originally entirely off of Ken Griffey Jr., but he's made some alterations over time. As you can see, a little more wide open than the kid would be.
Let's see if he's got the same kind of pop.
Oof, oof. That's a pretty good change up there. Just at the bottom of the strike zone. Good pitch. Again. 1-1 count. Briggs deep in the box. Found out that pitch. Felt like he was a little bit fooled by the changeup.
Hopefully no one's
I'll
parked in the parking
pause
lot.
for the foul ball siren, so we can fully immerse ourselves in the grandeur.
That's what I was just saying. I think someone's car
1 and
might have
2.
got dinged.
Oh, another curveball. Again, he's fooled him with that curveball as far as timing goes. Those last two pitches.
I wonder if he'll throw it again here.
Yeah, and he's struggling with that pitch a little bit earlier, so seems to be finding it. 1 and 2. Ooh, fastball. A little bit behind it. That might fall in. And it
falls in
does,
for
as
a
a
hit.
matter of fact. Bases will be loaded. The runners had to hesitate because wasn't sure if that little can of corn, as they like to call it, was going to fall in. It did.
Left fielder playing a little deep there.
Shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bases are loaded.
Back to the
Sinai
top of the
single.
order.
Top of the order, Carter Shin. Flied out to right field his last at bat. gets a second look at Austin Barton, who's kind of been a tale of two cities start for him. The best of pitches, sometimes the worst of pitches, mostly the best of. We'll see how he does here. Ooh, that curveball. Curveball didn't quite work that time. That's ball one. Briggs on first, Cowley on second, Medor on third. 1-0. Good pitch. That
could be two.
Going to be two. That would be a double play.
Barton escapes the inning unscathed. Gives up a couple hits. Hit a batter. It's still 2-0 Americans as we head to the.
Well done by the Americans there. Give them full credit. The Lancer is the answer. I love that. I love that. That was well voiced over there. Let me give you some credit. Well, yeah, they wrote it, but you sang it. You sang that. That's right. Like it's 8 o'clock at the Lancer restaurant. Some might not know that almost forgotten Melody Motel classic. Yeah. Do you like breakfast specials, Jesse? Sure you do. Well, you should be going to the Lancer. Actually, you know what? My dad took me there when I was a little kid. It was one of the first times he took me out. You know, when you got 4 kids, it's a big deal when your dad takes just you out. I remember thinking it was massive. Huge. That was during the time where I was very pro ketchup on a sunny side up egg. Yeah. And that was a big deal about that. And it's funny, it looked almost exactly the same for about 4 decades. Yeah, you know the friendly giant kind of decor they had going on there. The I don't know what you would call that seat stylings, like lost, almost dormant volcano perhaps stylings. I don't know, but it was. But that place has a special place in my heart. It's obviously it's changed now. They have a nice patio. It's central to the Meriton reality, I would say. But we're going here into top of the third. Connor Kiefer leading it off. First at bat of the day. Ethan Catney Forbes found his groove there a little bit, I thought, last inning.
I agree. He was settling in nicely there.
Yeah. I think that the big deal is curveball. Really felt like just wasn't really finding the release point on it. Seems to have found it a little more comfortable. Starts him off with a change up there. Good pitch.
That was a nice pitch there for strike
Got Kiefer
one.
to chase a little bit there. It's 1-1. It's a good, healthy crowd here in Meriton today. This is a solid opening, I would say. Another changeup that's fouled off, which
here comes the siren.
You know what comes down. And you know the crowd's really pro siren. This is a very pro siren
crowd. Gotta warn
crowd.
the crowd to not park behind the stadium. Be careful about their cars.
Good old former Meriton High School here, just adjacent the field. A place that educated many a fine Meriton folk. Oh, a little high and outside, but that's tracking. Oh, that's a catch. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, Grayson Briggs.
What a
You know,
catch.
Ken Griffith Jr. would be proud of that catch. That was sweet. Heck of a grab by Grayson Briggs. That's an F7. I'm gonna underline the 7 and that scoring. That was terrific. Is he? I thought this was. Oh yeah.
Who's the starting pitcher for these guys?
Okay. Austin Barton up at the plate, starting pitcher. The low one outside. Cadney Forbes resetting. Just a little outside. Just a little outside. 2-1. You know, I gotta say, announcing games without it on my screen, what the count is, that's some work. I'm doing some labor here today.
It is a challenge, but that's opening day. We'll get through our struggles.
Busted him in on the hands. That's gonna be
Trouble.
That's a single. 3 people converged.
Said in
None
the
of
booth
them
here,
caught
son
it.
of a nutcracker. That was a tough
That's
one.
a tough
to
one.
draw.
In on the hands, and you could feel it. Outfielder's playing pretty deep for that. Single. That brings us back to the top of the order. Grant Moore. Grant Moore got a little help from some uneven infield action to get a single there in his first AB. There goes the runner. Oh, strong throw, but just a little off.
It's their third stolen base of the day for the Americans.
Yeah, it's definitely been an aggressive day on the bases for the Americans.
The Ironbacks having a bit of trouble this season with the stolen bases.
Yes. I feel like it was the changeup, so a little tough on Gatens there. Another aggressive lead for Barton. Ooh, that was a pretty good curveball. I feel like Gatens might have lost him on that pitch a little bit.
Just a bit outside.
Oh, I don't know. Darton Harper's at the plate. We're going to do some corrections here because Austin Barton's the pitcher and he did not lead off the inning. Grant Moore actually started off with a single and a stolen base.
His lead is in third.
Oh my goodness, totally caught him napping. While I was napping, trying to catch us back up on. Kiefer started the inning off with a fly ball to left
right.
field.
Moore steals
Single,
third
2
base.
stolen bases for Moore, has him situated at third. Thanks for bearing with me as I caught up on where everybody actually is. Oof.
Just outside.
Missing wide
That's
right
Ball 3.
for Ethan Cadney Forbes. Maybe a little rattled perhaps by that delayed steal out there. Hey, great play by Grant Moore. Give him credit. Ooh. That's a foul ball. That's just gonna go just
Makes the count 3-1 here.
out of play down the right field line. Runner on third, 1 out. Infield's in. Trying not to let this 2-0 lead become a 3-0 lead. Oof. High and tight, that's going to be a walk.
Puts runners at the corners here.
Harper takes a walk to follow up his hit by pitch from earlier. Braden Miller, who walked last at bat, comes up for his second turn. Oof. It's inside. It's been a theme.
having a hard time hitting the zone today.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be trouble for the Ironbacks here with runners on the corners.
Not much of a lead there on first base for Harper, the extra hitter. Nice pitch.
That's a good cut there for strike one.
You know, with all the stolen bases today, surprised to see a couple step lead there. A little more aggressive this time. Perhaps he has extra hitter speed, you know. Ooh.
Just
inside
outside there.
again.
2-1 to count.
To give him credit, he's battling out there. It's 2-1.
Got some action in the Americans bullpen over there.
Fouled back. That was right in the heart of the strike zone. Miller couldn't quite get it. 2-2. Infield kind of playing mid-depth third baseman in. Petrosian right on the cusp of the grass. They're holding the runner on at first. Oh, there's a little bit of a curveball. That'll get the runner to second base.
Let's go to
I don't know where we're scoring that.
full count here too for the batter.
Wild pitch on that one. Wild pitch gets
This
him
could
to
signal
second.
trouble here for the Ironbacks.
Yeah, second and third, one out. Mid field goes back. Corners are in. That's strike three.
Strike three.
That is strike three.
That was a good strike on the
That's
corner.
a huge K. 2 out. Yeah. Easy to look at this as the game hangs in the balance a little bit.
That's
2
right.
Nothing. You don't want these two guys coming home.
That's right.
Nick
Forbes
passed
needed
Cade
that
last
one
time.
there.
Some conversation going on in the field. People pointing at each other. They've sorted it out. Appears it was
Two
how many
outs.
are out situation, and they've clarified it's 2. Oh, just caught the low corner. Strike 1. Nice pitch to start him off. Runners with modest leads off the bases here in second and third. Oh, slow curveball. That one is just going to fall in.
That's going to score 2 runs.
The throw is going home. That'll score 2. Man.
That's going to bring 4-0 for the Americans here.
That's tough. And you know, in fairness to Ethan County Forbes here, he hasn't really given up a hard hit. I think the hardest ball hit was caught by the left fielder.
Exactly.
Everything else has been kind of nickels and dimes and nickels and dimes.
He's
but,
struggled with his command and putting bases on runners are on that
yeah,
way, and
fair.
that's been really the damage that's been done, right?
Yep.
And now we're getting some activity in the bullpen for the Ironbacks.
It's off to a decent start here with Delanto. Cue the foul ball, sorry. Delanto, the DH. Not the extra hitter, not to be confused with the extra hitter, he's a DH.
That is a unique thing for this league, I
It is.
find, having a 10th hitter.
Yeah.
And I've been informed it's not every team that gets it every game. So
Really, it's like a random.
it's
sort
a
of
random thing. Yeah, the Ironbacks had
Coins
10
or
hitters
flips.
last night, and today the Americans are getting it today. So
Oof. As a curveball. That's the pitch that feels like the most erratic. in
he's
his
having some
repertoire.
trouble hitting his spots
Yeah.
there today with that curveball.
Yeah, almost feels from here like he's thinking that one more than feeling that one.
He's definitely maybe overthrowing it a little bit,
Yeah.
trying to.
Pulling the runner on first, which is a good idea since
He's getting up 3 stolen bases today.
right, the Americans have been really going at it.
And they're taking some aggressive leads when they can, too. So
Oh, that's strike 2.
that's a good
Nice
pitch.
Nice pitch. Toronto feeling like that's a little high. I think he might be a little off on that one, but fair enough. He's right there after all. Okay, Kevin Forbes will step off, compose himself. Toronto takes a deep breath, steps back in. Oof. Outside, that was a curveball. Just
And he's really having trouble with that curveball today.
yeah. That's the theme. Oh, he got him to chase that one.
Strike 3 to get out of the inning.
Toronto is going to want to have that one back.
Americans do score 2 runs to make it 4-0 here.
Great battling by Ethan there. Full credit to him. Bottom of the third coming up.
You know, Darren, you've pitched before in the past. What do you do when you're not getting a pitch you're feeling you can hit? What's going through your mind there right then?
When I pitched? Anger and frustration, which is part of the problem I had as a pitcher. So I think he's done a really nice job of keeping his composure and battling through it, which is the key, right, when adversity comes?
Absolutely.
Because anybody can do well when things are going well. I feel like I'm about to say a Yogi Berraism here. But yeah, I feel like anybody could do well when things are going well. Not everybody could do well when things are a little bit more adverse.
Well, that's right,
I don't
Yogi.
think that Yogi Berra would use adverse, so I feel like I overcame that, you know. Marcus Butts leading off. I mean, at the DH, walked his last at bat. Maybe start here.
I know.
All right, Butts, right-handed hitter, steps in. Feels like that one. That's his walk-up song, MGMT.
Like that song.
That is a good song, kids, right?
It is a good song.
That's fabulous. I give that's a 14 out of 10 score for that, as our good friend Justin Drummond would say.
It's a
14 out
unique
of 10.
walk-up song for sure.
Yeah.
Butts falls off the first pitch for strike 1.
Ooh, that was a good pitch. That froze.
Hits the corner there for strike 2.
I'm impressed. It's the only Stoppers t-shirt in the building. I thought it might have been a reprint.
It's close, but that was him. You could see him getting a little more dialed in on that particular pitch, because before he was missing by 3 feet.
Definitely. He's
He
getting a
missed by
little,
3 inches that time.
composed now, I think, as the innings have gone on here.
Good pitch. It's a good curveball. Got him a chase a little bit.
Oh,
wow.
Nice catch by the first baseman.
That was
for
some
the out.
style points for that catch. That was a sweet catch. Full credit to the
Going
first
close to
baseman
the
on
dugout
that.
there.
Yeah, great Miller. Like I feel like he slid 5 minutes before he made that catch, but it looks so good that I love it.
Yeah, just trying to
not?
show off for the fans here.
Exactly. He just added some levels of difficulty and style that I think
He
I
had
can
to
appreciate.
one up the left fielder from the previous inning,
Yeah,
you
man,
know?
we live in a world that has an air siren for foul balls.
That's right.
So why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly.
Right.
That's ball one here.
Anyway, back to. Turns out there's a game going on. I should pay a little more attention to it.
Sure, that's on and off, and I can hear you a little bit so far. Yeah, not that. Sorry.
Oof. Again, there's that pitch. Opened up a little bit on it. That's a ball.
That's 2-1 here, the count.
It's a good pitch. Fought that one off. A little down and low. Nicely fouled off the netting.
It's going to be 2-2 here.
I
the
feel
count.
the excellent presence of Niagara Ironbacks owner Mel Romanen right behind me, overseeing the action.
Well, pressure's
It's a
on here
big day
now.
for Mel Romanen. I thought he did a fantastic job out there on the field. A ground ball
Poke
to
up to
second
second
baseman.
base.
That's an easy 4-3.
That's it. 2 outs here.
Score that just like Geddy Lee at a Jays game behind home plate. Okay. We got 2 out. Let's go 1-0.
Eaton struck out in his first at bat.
Okay. Tried that little overhand curveball in the dirt. He's been fun to watch, actually. It's not always on, which is reasonable. Not being hypercritical.
He's working his way
Really
around.
He's really snapped off some great pitches here, but it's been a mix.
Yeah. And the most important thing, he's worked his way out of damage
That's
a
a
few
good pitch.
times,
See,
right?
there's a great example of a fantastic pitch. He just missed on it, but you could see Gatens freeze a little bit, turn the shoulder. Oh, he gave him the black and then some for that strike, but that was a good pitch. Just missed that one. Another good pitch. That's
Right
an
center
F9.
makes the catch.
That's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Diamondbacks.
4-0
Good job by
here.
Barton.
Going to the top of the fourth.
Top four.
This inning is brought to you by Desjardins.
4-0 Americans.
That protects you.
Oh, Desjardins. It's actually seated in front of Desjardins on. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that story now that I think it fully through.
There and the owner of the DQ Falls Brewery.
Where's that?
The guy over there in the Desjardins sign out there in left field. Travis Cairns, he's my insurance agent.
Oh, no way.
And he's part owner of DQ Falls.
Nice.
He's one of 4 owners.
DQ Falls, fantastic place. Can't recommend it enough.
I like it.
St. Paul Street. We're talking about St. Paul Street West, right?
Yeah.
For the address down by Low Street. Good old Western Hill. Spent many a good time in Western Hill, St. Catharines.
One of his newest breweries, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we had it the other day at Oli's. Also a sponsor
That's right.
on Merritt Street, St. Catharines. We had a couple, what was Morningstar Cream Ale. That's a 14 out of 10 as well. We're just throwing 14 out of 10s around because that was nice and crisp, great for the summertime. Yes.
Their main brew there. We got a few others.
Yeah. For sure, there's a couple different places. You could do a whole like bar crawl. Go to Oli's, DQ Falls. Chris Gazaldo, the shortstop up at the plate here to open the inning. Strike one to start it off.
That's a good first pitch there for him.
Sharp, yeah. Got a nice, pleasant sound up here in the press box. Oof. Let's get, again, just felt like you released that just a little bit early. 1-1.
Some more activity in the Ironbacks bullpen here in the top of the fourth inning.
Bullpen up makes sense. He's worked a lot. Ooh. That is looking like a double.
A hot shot down the
Briggs
third
with the
baseline.
throw. That's a good toss. That's a good toss. Look at that throw.
That's the second outstanding play by Briggs today.
Briggs.
He may not bat like Griffey, but he's playing D like him.
That was fantastic. Single. 7-4. Man, those are two fantastic plays for one day.
That's right.
Usually those kind of fantastic plays don't happen in the same game.
By the same player.
So yeah, we've been treated here today. Nice pitch, start him off. He chased that one. Did Evan Core. Man, Grayson Briggs. I want to say his name more this inning. I think we should. Just keep saying it. Ground ball. Oh, off the third baseman's glove. Nice toss. Oh! Oh my goodness. 5-6-3.
I'll say they're having
that
trouble with their
was-
bats today, but their D is on point.
Yeah, but that was a great play by the shortstop. Carter Shin with a nice toss. I honestly thought he didn't have a chance after he got deflected by Bedrosian.
A nice recovery
It
and
would
a
be-
great stretch by the
That
third
was close.
baseman.
That was a close play. Trying to be impartial, that was very close.
I think maybe we're lucky we're not having video review.
Right. Yes. Ooh, just caught the corner. Nice pitch.
Yeah, this is kind of another confidence inning that we need right
I'm gonna
now.
ask our friend here, Andrew, what he thought of that call after this inning. Get it from the other side of the fence. This is a little outside, 1-1. Because it'd be interesting to hear the Niagara Falls American take on that call.
I agree.
Good pitch. That's 1-2. They could really use
A 1-2-3
They
inning
could
here,
use
right?
a quick inning, absolutely. And again, full credit to Ethan for battling through there. He's thrown a lot of pitches thus far. Ooh. He hoping he would chase that one. He did not. Hollins kept the bat firmly, though gently on his shoulder.
Nice to count 2-2 here.
Trying to put him away here. Oh, fought it off. That was tight in and on the hands. He fought it off. Credit to Hollins.
Count still 2-2 here.
Cadney Forbes. Again, a victim of a lot of rinky-dink stuff here today. Can we say that? Rinky-dink seems like a fair...
You've said it, so we'll go with it. But I can agree with you, Darren. There hasn't been a lot of hard contact, I think, out there.
This has been a good battle. This at-bat has been a good battle. Full credit to Hollins.
I think he's only given up one extra base hit today, too, with that.
Right. They needed to realign. Everybody needs to calibrate. What is the count is the question.
Count is, I believe, 3-2.
Fingers are moving.
I was correct,
And
3-2.
after some consideration, it is a full count. Oh, that's a solid drive into right field. That's going to be off the fence. He could be trying. No, he's pulling up at second. Another nice toss there.
I might have spoke too soon about no hard contact.
Yeah, that was definitely hard contact.
That was a loud at-bat there to the right field.
Keane with a nice toss there, eliminated to a double. Although I have to say, Hollins didn't seem that interested in a triple. Not to say that he's not interested in triples, I felt like he was like, okay, I'm taking a double here.
He looks like he slowed down. He probably
slowed
could have
down a
stretched
little
that
bit.
to
He'd
third.
accept it. Yes, he wasn't the entrepreneurial type.
No,
on
right
that
field
one.
was definitely playing closer to center. He could have definitely.
And maybe you know what? Like he's a ball player.
Yep.
He knows the stuff. He
Yep.
knows what he's capable of. So
Maybe-
who am I to say that he could have had a triple?
Maybe he
there?
knew something on Keene where he didn't want to test his arm.
Yeah, runner on second. We got 2 out. Academy Forbes trying to come out of this unscathed. Oh, that's hit pretty good into the gap. That's going to find it.
That's going to score another
Keene
run here for the Americans.
Pulls up, throw into the infield. Bounces around a little bit, but that's a double. Couple really good
Wow.
contact there. That's an RBI double.
I think they're going to the bullpen here. We got a manager coming out to the
That's going to
mound.
bring out the pitching coach. Yeah, it's been a lot of work here for Academy Forbes, so we'll see if they leave him in the game. That's a good poke by Prey.
It was 2 back-to-back pretty good hits, actually.
Conversation happening on the mound. We're not privy to.
This inning alone actually could have been 3 straight or 3 doubles there if it wasn't for that outstanding toss by
right. You forget. And again, I mean, Ethan's put a lot of work in here,
He has.
and it
he
feels
has.
like
He's
this
battled
inning-
hard with not really being able to hit
Right.
that curveball, right? So
Yeah, we forget that this inning started off with Briggs making a fantastic
that's right.
toss.
That's right. And it was going along so smooth too. He got 2 quick outs there.
That's baseball.
That's
baseball.
Number 1, Connor Keeper.
The amount of time people have probably said it was all going along so smooth.
That's right. Well, they're
Right.
keeping him. They're keeping him
It's
in
like-
right now. The
It's
pitching
like my
coach.
educational career. It was all going along so smooth, and then grade 1 happened. That's a ground ball. Oof,
Oh.
another tough hop. Briggs, are they going to test his arm after seeing what he did last time? Ooh, that might have.
That's 3 straight doubles there for
Yeah,
the
you know what?
Americans too.
The third base coach absolutely saw that toss last time.
I
and held
believe he
him up.
did for sure.
Briggs not really on line with
He
that.
held him there at third.
So, yeah.
That puts
Prey
runners at
at-
second and third now, and I
Prey
think
at
that might
third.
be it for the starter pitcher there for the Ironbacks.
Yeah.
Manager Griffin's coming out there. He's making the call to the pen.
Kiefer moving up to second on that single with a throw home from Briggs, who quite right, he tossed it there. It looks like that's it for Academy Forbes. Like I said, probably not a game that he's going to be in love with, but he fought, battled hard, found some of his pitches. So now coming in to pitch for the Ironbacks. We'll get to the bottom of that. J.J. Reynolds coming in to pitch.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm the guy that's out playing. I heard 22, so.
J.J. Reynolds into the game.
Right time yet.
Game 1, some wrinkles to be worked out. Just trying to have a good time here in Merritt. J.J. Reynolds into the game, taking over from Burlington, Ontario. Yeah. Big basketball fan. J.J. Reynolds. Burlington, I should have mentioned when we're talking about contingents on this team, there's the Bismarck, North Dakota contingent, second biggest city in North Dakota after Fargo. You guessed it. Would you have guessed it?
I would have not guessed that actually.
I'd say it's a shame. I think we really got to come armed with more North Dakota information next time.
You think so?
Right? Let's peel away the mystery and find out a little bit more. When I chatted with the guys, I tried to find out things about like best locations to eat in North Dakota. Mainly they focus on it just being a pretty chill place. But I feel like there's got to be more.
Maybe that explains there's not a lot to uncover about North Dakota.
Well, you know what? We've got a whole season to break down Bismarck, North Dakota. We'll see how J.J. Reynolds does. What I was going to say is a lot of players here from Burlington as well. Mel Romanen, the owner of the team, his kids actually played and coached in Burlington. Many may be familiar with Mattingly Romanen, drafted by the Jays.
I was actually also born in Burlington, Ontario.
Mel's son Keegan also played in Burlington. Advanced levels. Got runners at second and third here, 2 out. See if Reynolds can get us out of this. Curveball outside. Grant Morris had a pretty decent day. Stole 3 bases today. Oof, that was in on the hands. Reynolds gets a little bit of help. That's 1-3. That gets him out of the inning. Another run scores. That's 5-0. 5-0. We're going into the bottom of the 4th. Niagara Ironbacks going to try to get a little something happen.
Next up, we have Ironback trivia. Correct. Question 2. How many innings are in a regulation PG CBL baseball game?
9 innings.
Correct.
I'm just going to call him Buddy. I don't know his name, but he's 2 for 2.
Do the PG CBL players maintain their college eligibility while playing summer baseball? A. No, playing summer ball makes you ineligible. B. Yes, PCGBL players maintain their eligibility.
I feel like Buddy's going to get this. There you go. 3 for 3. Correct.
What's actually got bats used in these games? A. Aluminum bats. B. Wood bats.
Bishop?
Okay, it's time. D. David Schneider. That is correct. Oh, he's our winner. Cheer him on, everyone. Let's go Ironbacks.
Okay, the current score is 5-0 for the Americans. Up next,
5-0 Americans. Known in some parts of the press box, 5-0. Andrew Bishop to lead it off.
Struck out in his first at bat.
I got a good feeling about Andrew Bishop right here. He looks like he means it in that batter's box. Bishop K'd last time. Tough pitch there. 1-1. Bishop, like a lot of Ironbacks, with a little slightly open stance. 2-1. Barton, who's been wonky at times, has done a good job of getting to where he is unscathed.
That's
so
right.
Full credit to him. And looked
right.
really sharp at times.
He's pitched a pretty good ball game, I'll say.
Oof, just missed.
Misses
Just
his
missed it.
spots, but has been able to get himself out of damage, I think.
Yep. Bishop trying to get something started. Takes a walk. Something could start that way.
That's right.
Things have
That's
started.
Right. That's
with
what the
walks.
Ironbacks need here. See a little bit of action here.
Second baseman, number 7, Devin Medor.
Devin Medor has been fantastic in the field today. Fantastic. And last time up, he singled.
That's right. We could use a hit here.
Yeah, Briggs and Medor have really had exceptional days. Not to take anything away from anybody else, but they've certainly been kind of the bright lights in the field. It's ball 1. See what kind of lead Bishop takes here. As almost everybody's been running today. It's been a theme for both teams. Bishop's getting out. Good pitch. Off the end of the bat. That's got that hung up. Bishop's got to get back.
Flat out to
And
center
he does.
field. It's one out here for the Ironbacks.
Yeah, I really felt like that was off the end of the bat and might fall in, but
It looked like from my vantage point.
hung up.
Center fielder, number 8, Keanu
Nice catch by Jake Hollins. Keanu Cowley now at the plate. Well, that's a walk-up song. You know, that's
It's no kids, but
I gotta. Yeah, that's true. Ooh, that was a good breaking ball. I'm surprised it caught the bottom of the zone, but I trust the umpire. It's his profession. Oof. Force that one a little bit. Kind of a theme when Barton's not going well is that particular pitch. But as we've seen all game, he can look like that on one pitch and then look fantastic the next one.
he's battling.
Decent pitch, outside corner.
It's a big
Bottom
cut
part
there.
of the zone. Good pitch. There you go. Again, right back with a decent pitch. Good for him.
It's almost how he's setting him up, you know?
Oh. Callie's keeping it real though. 1 and 2. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Very high on that pitch. Yeah, a lot of happy people milling about the ballpark today. Oof, missed on that. That's a full count. Keanu battling his way into a full count. We got nobody out. We got a runner on first. Mel Romanin is here, demanding to know what inning it is. Outside, look at that.
Takes a walk.
That's another walk.
We got 2 runners on
runners up
here
first
for the
and second.
Ironbacks.
Yeah.
Up next, third baseman, number 19, Bryce Bedrosian.
Bryce Bedrosian.
No out here for the Ironbacks. This could.
You know, Barton's been bending and not breaking all day, and this is another opportunity for the Ironbacks to put a little dent in there. Not to mix my metaphors, but good pitch to start the at-bat. Strike 1. Modest leads for the Ironbacks. They need a lot of runs, so probably not going to be too reckless on the bases. Oof, Barton really missed with that one. Bedrosian takes that one. Good take. Nice job by Bedrosian.
2-1 the count.
Bedrosian Cade in his last bat against Barton. Ooh, Barton wanted that one. That was close.
Got a check swing, 3-1 count here.
Yeah, that was close. Count in Bedrosian's favor. 3-1. Runners on first and second.
I got to throw something over the plate here.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Just outside,
He
walks
had to
him.
throw something over plate, but did.
But he
So
did.
it's
Walks him. That's going to load the bases for the Ironbacks.
Grayson Briggs.
Grayson
Nope.
Briggs, who's had a day. Grayson Briggs has had a day.
I
In
was
the field, he's looked fantastic. Mel Romanin, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And now he's up with the bases loaded. One's got Mel Romanin. We're educating Mel Romanin up here in the press box. Our good friend. Oh, they're gonna have to see a pitching change. Austin Barton
So-
pitched well today.
Is that
Full
Will
credit to him.
Cordero coming out to the mound?
Was it Will Cordero? You know, one thing we should have mentioned this earlier. Will Cordero, former Expo, former Red Sox, played on a lot of quality baseball teams at a very high quality.
Absolutely.
Great ball player.
Absolutely. That's someone you can really learn from, I think, for these young ball players, for the Americans.
Yeah, Will Cordero, and he started as an infielder.
Yep.
Played a little left field, if I recall,
Yep.
which may have been necessitated by some of his infield play. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to left field because
Because you're a
you're
good
doing
fielder.
great at short.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's never happened. You know, he looks good at short. Let's try him in left.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes known as
We could really use that strong D in
Incognito.
left field, I think.
And so they got a lefty coming into the game to face Briggs. Carmen Padaro coming into the game, it looks like. Padaro coming in to take place of Barton.
Pitcher for the Americans, Carmen Padaro.
Padaro kind of dropping that arm down, almost some slightly less than 3/4. What would be the fraction if you're slightly less than 3/4? I mean, 3/4 is 75%. We'll say he's coming in at about 64.2% arm angle.
Fielder number 30, Grayson
Make up your own
Briggs.
fraction. Grayson Briggs has been fantastic today in the fields.
See if he can make some
Tough
damage
matchup
here.
against the lefty here.
Get the Ironbacks on the board.
Oof, takes good take there. 1-0. Briggs with that open stance. Modest leads again for the base runners. That's in on the hands. Slow grounder.
It's going to be one, but that's
That'll
going to
bring a
score a
run
run. The first run for the Ironbacks at home this season on a fielder's choice. And
P3
advances
for
the runners
you
too.
scoring
Runners,
at home.
Number 5, Carter Shin, the shortstop.
Runners on second and third. Another guy who's had a great game today. Carter Shin has been fantastic in the field. You translate a little bit into offense, that would be great. 0 for 2 today. Oof, no generous strike call there, I would say, perhaps. On the black, as they say. 0-1. Outside,
trying to
1-1.
come back with the same pitch, I think, and just missed his mark.
That's some high effort delivery out there. Ooh, fouled it out. That deserves some siren action. That's 1-2 on Carter Shin. I find his delivery is deceptive.
It is very deceptive.
You know? Oof, that was also almost another HBP here
That
today,
was
another hit by pitch.
Such a hard delivery. He lost his cap there on the mound.
Yeah. You know you're working when you lose your cap on something. 2-2. That
Poke to
could
center field.
fall
Looks like it's
in.
gonna
It
drop
does.
for another
That
2
should
runs.
score 2.
And the center field
fielder
bobbles
can't
it.
handle it. 2 runs.
Let's go bring the score 5-3 here for the Americans.
That's a little single in the center field falling in.
Designated hitter number 15, Marcus Butt.
5-3. 5-3. That's just how quick things could change. Marcus Butts up at the plate. DH in today. Takes strike one. That's a good pitch. There's a low inside part of the strike zone. Shin really bouncing around off of first base. Strike two. Sneaky. That pitch just sneaks up on you. 0-2. Butts asked him some questions about it, but I think that was a fair call. 0-2. There goes the runner, and that's another
Hit batter.
hit batsman.
That's going to put runners on first and second here for the Ironbacks with 2 out.
That's been a lot of hits batsmen. Alex Keane stepping up to the plate.
Got some fans in front of us excited for the foul ball they caught.
Yeah. Keane, the left-hander, stepping in against the lefty. Ooh, that's a tough pitch there to start. Alex Keane again from Woodstock, Ontario. Goes to school in Kentucky at Moorhead State. Ooh,
That's a big cut there by
strike
Keane.
two. Good pitch. Good pitch. Right in on the hands. Wouldn't have done much with that even if he hit it. He's going to naturally a first baseman playing some outfield. Strong arm he's shown today.
Ooh,
Strike
another
three,
big
good
cut.
pitch.
Strikes out Keane. They end the inning here. But the Ironbacks get on the board, and it's 5-3 for the Americans as we head to the top of the 5th.
3 runs on 1 hit.
All right, folks, so it's 5-1 is the current score.
Alba's playing. All the drama of the score that was just announced being a little bit wrong is dissipated.
Jim Stoll, he's at the house for sponsoring this inning. American's coolest hangout with a fresh vibe, fast, friendly service, and the perfect spot to kick back and enjoy the game.
Top of 5. We're back. The game took a positive turn for the Ironbacks. Down 5-0 coming into the bottom of the 4th. It's now 5-3.
It's just kind of what we needed there, right? Get a little bit of confidence, get this home crowd back into the game. You got Reynolds back on the mound here.
Reynolds
top of
got
the
a
5th
quick
inning.
out last inning, coming in relief. We'll see if he can keep that up here against Harper. Harper's been hit, walked. He's looking for something a little more glamorous here. That's in on the hands. Bedrosian fields it neatly.
Another great
got him.
stretch by the first baseman
Yeah.
there.
I thought Bedrosian might have taken a little too long on that play, but it turns out he knows how strong his arm is.
It's like another great stretch to that first baseman making plays
Yeah.
across the diamond like that.
Yeah, it's true. Bishop's done a nice job there. Graydon Miller coming up. He's walked and Cade. Nice got a quick out there for Reynolds.
A
feel like the curveball's having a tough day here today, just in general.
Just Meriden heat, you know?
And in fairness, early in the season,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just happens in pro ball, I think, too, right? A lot of pitchers kind of struggle with their delivery early in the year.
for sure. For sure. And then you're talking, you're not talking about 30-year-olds, or you're talking about younger guys with their off-speed stuff. It's a little closer, but again,
That's what this league's all about, too, right? Working on those things, developing those types of pitches.
Absolutely. The league works on a lot of levels, right? Good pitch.
Good
That's
strike to
down
right
the
field. That could be
line.
dangerous. Just foul. Got lucky there. It looked like trouble from my angle.
It did. It did. I feel like just foul.
A little offside.
Maybe a little generous to the word just.
Strikes him
Ooh,
out.
Strike 3.
That was a nice pitch in the corner there by Reynolds.
Graydon Miller hasn't looked comfortable in the batter's box today. This is my first introduction to Graydon Miller. He looks imposing in there. Felt like he just hasn't found his groove today.
Next for the Americans,
Thus far.
number 20, Nick Pass.
Nick Pass coming up.
Nick
Singled. RBI is last at bat. He's K'd and singled. A pivotal single last time.
Yeah, when the bases were loaded last inning, right?
Yeah, I think I actually gypped him one of his RBIs. I think it was actually 2 RBIs for Mr. Past.
Ooh, another great pitch there by Reynolds. He's looked good
Reynolds,
so
A
far.
little
In
bit
his,
of hop going on there.
he's got some heat in that first.
Yeah. He's got the old glove in front of the face. To
Craig
start his
Kimbrell
side.
style.
Craig, yeah, that's
Another
right.
great pitch.
I won't even let you see my face.
Speaking of Craig Kimbrell, right back in the
Yeah,
majors now.
that's right.
Called up yesterday by the Braves.
What was it, the old chicken wing? The lower.
Oh,
dangling
yeah,
arm
right
there,
down
Kimbrell.
there.
Yeah.
Just a bit outside.
Ooh. He did the double jump. I want that. I think that's a strike, but he didn't
Marcus
get it.
Stroman jump there on the
Yeah,
mound.
That's fair. Again, man of blue is professional. Ooh, curveball. I think he was looking for a little more break on that. Almost yelling sweep as it approached the plate. Hurry hard.
Counts 3-2 here. Payoff pitch. Just outside.
Ooh.
Oh, it was only ball
was
3,
tight.
actually. I was mistaken. I thought that was ball 4.
This game has been a study in fallibility and mortality. So
That's ball 4.
that's ball 4.
That's takes the
You
walk
just looked
there.
into the future. You looked into the future. Pass keeps it up. He's been tough all game.
Keeps the inning alive here for the Americans.
Number 9, Paul Delanto.
Delanto reached base via an error. First time Cade in his last at bat. Comes up now with a runner on first. Again, America's been hyper aggressive on the bases.
You say that. Outside of the first couple innings, you haven't really tried to steal a base since that point.
Yeah, the first couple innings was it, right?
They were
Yeah.
stealing them, yeah. I think they've toned
I
it
think
down a
that
little
was
bit.
as much about opportunity as anything.
That's hooking.
That
Foul.
Jesse Seguin lexicon would be just foul.
Just foul into the bullpen, yeah.
We need a just foul horn. Just
I
a
don't-
foul horn, like just womp womp womp. I think that would be the sound. Reynolds trying to put this inning to bed. It's be big for the Ironbacks to get out of here with without giving up a run. Oh mercy, that's a tough spot. If you're looking for where potentially
I feel that
there's an
strike's been
issue with
called
the
once
strike
today,
zone,
though.
yeah,
I feel he's been.
that's an iffy spot there, low and away to right-hander. Nice curveball. Nice curveball. He couldn't do much with that.
It's a foul ball, 2-2 the count.
Delonto, the DH here for the Americans. Got the knee-high American striped socks.
Not to be confused with the extra hitter, but the DH.
That's outside. That was not close. Reynolds trying a little too hard there. He amped that one up.
He's trying to get out of this inning.
Yep.
Makes it a full count now.
Okay, Merritt really could use this next pitch. A pretty solid lead there by Past. Foul ball down the right field line. That's
Way
not
foul.
gonna be close. Past, perhaps not surprisingly, unable to look into the future, or perhaps he wouldn't have taken off from first base there.
He's getting a lot of times. He's been getting back, crawling back to first. A lot of pitches this at bat.
We all have our limits. Right hangs.
Steps
right arm
off.
Swinging for Past. See if he takes off again. Would make sense. There are 2 out. That count is full. It's kind of his job.
I guess that does make sense, Darren.
It does. Now that I say it, I put the whole thing together on my own too. That once again.
Another foul.
Really
He's
feels
fouling
like,
off a lot of pitches to the right field there.
Yeah, and it feels like Delonto's getting a little more dialed in on Reynolds this at bat. And I think both those pitches outside a little bit high. Maybe not a ton of movement on them. So I think Reynolds looking for something a little sharper this time. See what he does. Ooh.
And the theme of the day, another hit batter.
I've said ooh like that many times today. There has been many HBPs.
And that keeps the inning alive here for the Americans and puts runners at first and second.
And you can see what Reynolds is doing. Throwing a couple fastballs outside. Both have been hit fairly solidly foul. And he thought, you know what?
Go inside.
Let's throw a curveball, and he just couldn't snap it off.
Just couldn't tighten it up a little bit to get there over the plate.
There's the pitch. That's what he was trying to do last time. Good pitch. Strike one.
You see, I think that was a similar pitch to the last one, though, that was called a ball in that at-bat, previous at-bat.
Gazaldo following Delonto. Good day to be a vowel. Oh, that's right up the middle.
Up the gut. That could be
Center
trouble.
Fielder charging. Yeah, they're not even going to throw home. That's a run. Single right up the middle.
It's going to make it 6-3 for the Americans.
You know, and again, that one not struck that hard, just found the right spot, the sweet spot.
You're right. They've been finding holes all day in the infield there.
Found a little green. Found a little green.
But what's kind of dogged the Ironbacks all day is just not being able to get out of the innings. A walk or a hit batter that keeps the innings alive.
Absolutely.
The Americans have been able to capitalize.
That's by my count. That's 4 hit batters today.
In this game, yep.
Yeah, and that's
a lot of hit batters.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing the trouble here. It's just, as we
Strike
talked
one.
about, not a lot of hard contact.
right.
Just keeping innings alive, and small ball has been really kind of doing it for them. Big league off second. Hooking, foul.
Slicing. Slicing foul. 2 strikes. I mean, you can really see how much more comfortable he is with that fastball as opposed to the curve. That curveball's been in many different locations. The fastball's got a little bit of sizzle to it.
I think for both teams today, the curveball's been hard to be hitting today.
Yeah.
And there it is again, kind of just
Yeah, and then that's when he misses with the fastball. You can tell he's just
overthrowing his curve a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little overthrowing on the fastball.
Running out of options a little bit here.
Let's see what he does here. You hate to waste that one because now what do? You go back to your curve that's not working, or you stick with the fastball that
You know they're going to be waiting for, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Overthrew to get and
Wild
I
pitch
think what
here by
happens-
Reynolds and advance the runners.
Right. And that's what could kind of happen when you can't, like, not being able to to locate one of your pitches,
That's right.
It starts to diminish all your other pitches.
That's right.
Because now you need more out of them than you would ordinarily have to expect.
You know, that kind of reminds me of a lot of was Aaron Sanchez back in the day.
Yeah, great example. But, I mean, Aaron Sanchez's fastball in his prime was...
It was excellent.
He could almost get away with that alone.
It was excellent.
There's so much movement.
But even that one, too, so much movement, he sometimes couldn't locate it. So then what do you do with it? You got no other pitch to throw. Oh, that's a good strike.
Oh, that one is going to find a lot of green out to the fence.
That looks like trouble here. 2 runs are scored. It's a stand-up double.
A couple runs. Big inning for the Americans after getting a quick 2 outs. Reynolds has struggled here a bit. Double from Evan Core. Jake Hollins is up now. Jake Hollins has had a great day. Well, he's had a double. And yeah. It's 8-3 now.
8-3 for the Americans here. Another kind of a big inning.
Who really pulled a big inning out of a tough start to it. That's a fly ball left field.
Oh no!
I didn't feel like Briggs lost that one in the sun. At the last second, you see him put his glove up. That's an E7.
He's been excellent all day on defense, but that one was a tough one there. It ate him up a bit in the outfield.
It actually looked like that was a piece of cake.
Yep.
And at the last second, you saw him put his glove up like the sun was in his eyes, which I can't see where the sun is right now, but I'm assuming
it's another back.
Was not in a good spot for Briggs.
Back-to-back doubles too here for the Americans, and another run comes in to make it 9-3. It's been kind of the trouble for the Ironbacks in this early season. It's just 2 large innings every game. It's just been doing them in.
Prey up again. Prey doubled his last time too. The bottom of the order's been pretty fierce here today.
It was a good pitch there by Reynolds to get up 1-1, strike 1.
Reynolds trying to sort of right the ship here and get them out of this inning if the game is still a possibility.
Oh, that could be trouble.
Keene is going to fetch that. He's got a strong arm, so I don't
Drops in the right field.
Trying to advance, but that's an RBI from Prey.
Holds the runner at first base, but as Darren mentioned, another run scores, and that's 10-3 now for the Americans here at the top of the 5th inning.
You can hear from our compatriot on the Niagara Falls American broadcast. This has been a rough inning for J.J. Reynolds. It started so promising, and they made some good contact. You got to give them credit. I mean, there's been the
finally, and this might be the only inning they have made any contact of significance, and it's come out to bite the Ironbacks here in the 5th.
Strike 1. There's some heckling of the batter's choice to swing at that pitch, which is an interesting heckle.
Glad you're still into the game at 10-3.
It's outside. 1-1. This is got to feel like a lifetime for Reynolds here. A little bit unlucky with the error on left.
It looks like they're keeping Reynolds in the game too. There's no activity in the bullpen right now for the Ironbacks.
Oh, that's close. But a little bit low and away.
2-1 the count.
That's off the end of the bat. That should be a nice, easy play for the shortstop, Carter Shin, and it was.
That gets the Ironbacks out of the inning, but the damage was done there, and again, it's 10-3 for the Americans as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
actually stopped James Brown. There's some James Brown action happening there, and then it stopped. I feel like that was unfortunate. I heard ABBA. I was happy with ABBA. I was happy with James Brown. Who was that? Who was that song? This is like name that tune. This is Smash Mouth. All right. Yeah, it's an interesting. It's your daughter's favorite song, Penelope's favorite song. There you go. Oh, it's a Shrek thing. Okay. Shout out to Penelope.
And Bryson, the winner.
I'll tell you something funny. At work, speaking of 1 week, I'm walking along, and they wanted to do. I work at the Performing Arts Center. They were doing an ad for 1 week to our members opening, and I had to sing along to 1 week. And this is the first time I was really ever asked to do anything like that. And it's like really bare naked ladies. I waited 3 years to sing bare naked ladies. Yeah. Which I might take Smash Mouth over bare naked ladies. Yeah, in a pinch, if I was forced. If it was an either or. It's a tragic either or scenario, really. But let's get back to the game.
Bottom of the 5th here.
The catcher, number 11, Connor Gayden.
Connor Gayden's up to the plate, catcher. The crowd could really use a big inning here today. Right here, right now. Connor Gayden's might be the linchpin to that. He's struck out, flied out to right field. Takes the second ball. Carl Padaro came in. He's looked pretty sharp. Not a great opening today, but he was sitting there a long time. So we'll see how that impacts him. Yeah, he's definitely not sharp here to start. They're a little more mustard on that pitch.
2-1 the count. That's a big cut there.
That's a big cut. Big cut.
2-2 count.
Yeah. He wasn't looking for any little
little off
hit,
speed.
as I said earlier.
Little off speed there. He's been throwing some heat there on the mound.
Ooh, that was close.
Down low for full count.
Full count. It's been an interesting battle. You can see Padaro really finding his groove here a little bit as this little at bat progresses. Oh, that's strike 3. Yep, definitely was.
Strike at the knees for one out here.
Yeah, like I said, Padaro really finding it there as at bat.
Andrew Bishop.
Bishop. Struck out, he's walked. Strike 1.
Carry on my wayward son, his walkout song.
That opening, another nice pitch. Padaro has like a really interesting delivery. Because on its face, I just think, but it's really effective, and there you go, it's another strikeout. In case you didn't hear that, our friend Andrew from Niagara Falls Americans broadcast just said he is on fire. And I have to concur with that.
I do agree as well. He's looked good coming in the 4th inning there. Keeping it going for the Americans. Bottom of the 5th.
Mador stepping up to plate. Mador again has been fantastic in the field today. He's singled. He's flied out to center.
First pitch swinging.
Just got under that one.
To center field, and that's 1, 2, 3 for the Ironbacks here in the 5th. We're going to the top of the 6th in just a moment here.
Unfortunately, I have to put my hot dog aside. Get back to action here. Grant Morrow's had a really good day. Running wild on the base pass, leads it off. Lays down a little bunt at 10-3. That's a surprise. Ball's tossed away.
Reynolds throws it away, and that could
It's
be
thrown
trouble there. He's
way away.
advancing to
That's-
third base.
Yeah. All the way to third base. That's an interesting play. That's a single. That's an error on Reynolds. Man. I don't know. We're still early. We're still early in the game, so I might be making too big of a fuss about laying down a bunt to open up the inning. Am I?
I don't know. It's been a tough day for the Ironbacks, I think.
It's
The
been a
pitchers in
tough
general,
day.
I think.
Yeah, that's kind of rubbing it in.
The-
That's a high fly ball. Gayton's getting underneath it. Nice. There you go. F2. That's,
I think it's been a tough day for the pitching for the Ironbacks. Just haven't been able to hit their spots, and it's cost them a little bit there.
yeah.
Walks,
It
hit
has.
batters.
Yeah, you're not looking at the score and thinking it's unjust.
Now batting for the
Now,
Americans,
Graydon
number
Miller
15,
is walked,
Miller.
struck out his last 2 times, and again, it looked a little awkward last time. We'll see if he does a little better this at bat.
Got some more activity in the Ironbacks bullpen here as we check along in the 6th
Yeah,
inning.
I'm surprised to see Reynolds come back out, but it may just be a question of needing some innings.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Had some high-scoring games here to start the season and probably stretch out the arms. Although I think only 2 pitchers pitched yesterday.
Oh,
That's a single into right field that's going to score him. Nice little, nice job by Graydon Miller there.
yeah, that was a good at bat.
Yeah, he hadn't looked comfortable there earlier in the game, but he really stayed with that outside pitch.
Yep, found a hole in the outfield there
Loped it
between
into
right
right field.
center.
I don't know if loped it into right field is an appropriate terminology, but let's just say it.
Maybe more of a loop in the right field.
Looped it in the right
A
field,
loop in the
yes.
right field.
We just want some O's.
Yeah.
We need some O's and an L.
That's right. That's right.
20, Nick Pass.
Nick passed up at the plate. Struck out, singled, walked. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Ask not for whom the siren tolls. It tolls for thee. Yes. Nice pitch.
Oh, that was a nice
by
pitch.
Reynolds. Trying to put away Pass. Pass has been a tough at bat today. Nice pitch. Yeah. Busted him inside, high and tight with the fastball, which
Yeah.
again is he's been good with the fastball.
He has been good,
When
and
he
Reynolds
hasn't-
needed that one for sure.
Paul Delanto.
Settle him down a little bit, I think, here.
Yeah. The Delanto Gazaldo section of the lineup. I want to thank Paul Delanto and Chris Gazaldo, as those names are so much fun to say. You
And
know?
hitting him and saying him back to back.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Let's put a
It's
little
delight.
fun up here in the
It's
game.
been
Yeah.
delightful saying their names here today, so thank you to them. 2 out, runners on first.
Repping the high socks again as well.
Yeah. It's doing it old school.
That's right.
Not much of a lead there for Graydon Miller, perhaps in lieu of the score.
That was a nice pitch there by Reynolds to get
Yeah,
the
that-
strike-free
there's-
call.
Yeah.
That ends the inning here, the
strikeout.
top of the 6th. A runner scores though and makes it 11-3 for the Americans.
Keanu back up at the plate. Do we know what this song is? Let me try to get to the bottom of that. It's low and outside. It's a good take. It says got under that one. You can see the power is there. He just got that in the wrong spot.
A fly out to right field. 1 out here.
Now batting third baseman, number 19,
That's a quick one out.
Bogosian.
F9. Bryce Bogosian back up. Struck out and walked today. Scored a run. Big fan, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You are, eh?
Yeah, it's a true story. Oh, that's a little grounder in that slow grass if he's going to... Nice toss.
Nice pick by the third baseman for
Nice
the
play by
Americans
Prey.
there. And he's,
5-3. That grass really slows the ball down.
it does.
Like,
It does.
wonder if that's some sort of like...
We've getting a lot of rain here over the last week or
That's
so
true.
here in Niagara, so that might have something to do with it.
2 out.
Bottom of the 6th, 11-3 Americans.
Number
Chase Hubble up the
Pinch
plate.
hitter in,
Chase Hubble.
number 27, Chase Hubble.
Chase Hubble pinch hitting for Grayson Briggs.
Welland, Ontario.
Yeah. Good old Welland, Ontario. Hubble's walk-up song is actually supposed to be Johnny Cash, God's Gonna Cut You Down.
It's an interesting choice.
That's a serious walk-up song. Like, you mean it when you do that. I guess his dad's a big fan of country music. His dad actually came up Double A, went through Double A in Jay's organization, so played pro. That's outside. There you go. There you go. He's on
It's
base.
a good at-bat there for Chase Hubble
Yeah.
today.
It's that sneaky part of the game, right? It's easy for when you've got the kind of lead to
That's right.
go to sleep a little bit.
Just keep the inning alive here, and let's try to...
The shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
Carter Shin's had a good day in the field. 1 for 3 at the plate with an RBI. Inside. Ooh. Well, let me retract that inside initial call because it was a strike. Now that one actually was inside. I was about to say it, but I've been traumatized by oof, that's inside. Set the University of Maryland all-time record for reaching base safely in a 9-inning game 7 times. We just need him to reach base really here a second time. It's a modest request. Good take on a decent pitch that was just, I guess, just under the strike zone. Shin trying to keep this inning alive. Oof.
That was a good strike.
You know, yeah, it's a good pitch. That's a good pitch at that point. So full credit to him.
Runner going.
Off the hands again. That's slowed right down. Nice toss by third baseman Prey. It's no runs, no hits, 1 walk.
Top of the 7th on our way here. 11-3 Americans.
Okay, they're getting set again as we go into the top of the 7th. We're standing up now because we just need to stand up and stretch a little bit. Reynolds still in the game, which is a bit of a surprise, but he kind of found his groove there in last inning.
He did.
Chris Gazaldo leading it off here.
Number 42, Chris Gazaldo.
Strike, good pitch, nice pitch. A little wrinkle there that didn't quite find the zone.
1-1 the count.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. And you know the left field spot there with the picnic tables? I like it. I've decided. That's going to fall in. That's going to fall in. Tough one for Keane. The sliced fell right down at his feet.
Just a droop single there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not an awful pitch.
No, not at all.
But that's baseball.
Number 36, Evan Orr.
Tough one for Keane. That's one of those ones you think about for a second and then realize that's not quite in my zone of influence. So we got a leadoff runner on with a single. Gazaldo, Core at the plate.
Reynolds checks the runner there at first base.
Core's doubled, had a couple RBIs. There's Reynolds muscling up a little bit again on that one. Missed well outside. There's a throw down to first base. Gaten's trying to keep him honest. I'm not sure how aggressively Gazaldo's actually leading off first base.
There's 2-0 count here.
Well, you know, it looks like a little more aggressively this time.
Outside again for ball 3.
That's that pitch.
You got some more activity in the Ironbacks bullpen.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a tough day for Reynolds, as you said. Came into the game, looked pretty good actually. Quieted things down, and then things kind of went a little haywire there in the 4th inning, I think, and got away from him.
Yeah, things went a little sideways, I think, in the 5th. I think we were talking about the 5th.
The 5th
right?
inning.
Yeah. 2 out right off the get-go.
Right.
And then, you know, and
That
that one has
single out there in left field that lost in the sun.
One. And again, and Briggs had a wonderful day, so I don't want to diminish that, but that was a tough one.
Right up the gut for 2.
That could be 2. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Looked like a double play. It's a really nice place by the second baseman. Dude's glove just toss it over.
Right.
And then things went a little sideways there. I think he surprised Shin with that a little bit, it felt like.
I think so. And then he had to do the quick toss to get the first base, and he overthrew it a little bit there.
Right.
He did get the lead runner, though, so there was 1 out on there.
Number 37, Jake Holland.
It looked really pretty at the start.
It did.
And you know, you
It
just
did.
take any beauty you can find in the game. There's no need to really bog it down with some of the particulars that are perhaps a little less savory, but fouled that off. Jake Collins.
Sounds like the beginning of a Sloan song.
Jake Collins had an interesting day. Hit by pitch, double, and then of course the error. And you know the thing we're forgetting too, a lefty slicing one into left field for Briggs, so it's into the sun. It's fading away because that lefty slice is always a tough one to deal with. Of course, it's a ball you should catch.
It was a catchable ball.
Right. It behooves us to mention some of the realities attached to that particular missed fly ball.
Hot shot
That's
to
a
first
nice
there.
play by Bishop.
The runner at second base advances the third base on the ground out.
That That was a meaty ground ball.
It was.
But I
It
thought
was. It was
that
a nice
Bishop
stop
did a
by the
nice
first
job.
baseman there.
Now batting for the Americans, number 24, Shane Gray.
Shane Bray's had a good game. He's been really good in the field. 2 for 3 at the plate. He's got a double, a single, a couple RBIs. So he's had a great game. There's another ground ball. Shin the first on the move. Oh,
Ooh. The throw was off the bag, but he was able
Perhaps.
to make the tag, and that's the third out.
perhaps a little casual there for a moment on the toss. It looked nice.
It looked
they
nice.
They got him in the end. So
Bit
that's
of a high
that's
toss
a feel-good
there.
ending.
No runners score that inning, and it's still 11-3 Americans as we head to the bottom of the 7th
Treat
inning.
yourself to a sweet game day snack.
Parduro coming out for another inning. Wow. You know, it's been good. The score is 11-3 here. The crowd's hung in there. We take me out to the ball game portion of things here. Do the Harry Carey. I feel like we need someone to do that perform that Harry Carey function.
We do need a
And I
singer
feel
here
like
for the 7th inning.
I'm too sober to be that person, so
The crowd's getting into it, though.
times have changed. Times have changed.
The crowd is getting
But
into
God
it.
bless Harry Carey, no doubt. There's some singing out there, though. We're looking out to the crowd.
Okay. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 15, Marcus Butts.
Marcus Butts, the DH. He's walked. He's been hit by a pitch. He's flown out. Ball one low to start things here. They need base runners any which way you can. Good pitch. Good hit. Nice catch. Prey has been fantastic today.
That was a great stat
He's
there at
been
third base.
fantastic all over the field. Shane Prey has been wonderful.
Yeah, they really should start hitting it at third base, I
Number
think.
25, Alex Keane.
That's tough. When you're looking for some runs, that's a dagger.
That was
When
a
when
great
the team's
shot,
making
too.
plays like that on you.
He made a great play.
Ooh, and that's a tough call. The umpire's not giving you any mercy at the plate. Does not care because he's a professional. He's not supposed to care. So full credit to him. 1-1. I think I called something big for Bishop today. Earlier.
Yeah, you did? You did.
I did.
This is Keane, though.
Or Keane,
but-
excuse me. Keane and Bishop, all these left-handed guys. Oh, missed set.
Big count by Keane there. 1-2 count.
It's been a good day for the Americans. There's a lot of guys who really had fantastic. Good pitch. That's a
Strikes him
tough
out.
pitch for Keane. That broke late. That broke heavy.
For your Ironbacks,
That was a tough one for Alex.
Number 11, Connor Gatens.
This is
Connor Gatens is a catcher up now. He's struck out twice. He's flied to right.
Tommy Mathey on the mound now, too, for the Americans.
Another pretty good pitch. Shadows starting to stretch a little longer here at Taylor Field. That was well inside. A bit of an illusion. I thought he actually got hit by the pitch, but he clearly did not as he's stepping back into the batter's box. Oh, that's a tough pitch. It just missed. Good pitch from Carmen Pedoro. It's pretty much the same pitch, just found the zone. Gatens got under it a little bit, and that's going to be a fly out to left field. 3 up, 3 down.
A quick inning there for the Americans, and the score's still 11-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. Eli Thompson coming in for the top of the 8th inning here for the Ironbacks. He's from Bismarck State University.
It was funny, in his bio, they asked Thompson what his favorite food was, and he decided he wasn't answering that question. He was going to bypass telling us what his favorite food was and go straight for he hates spaghetti.
Hates spaghetti?
He hates spaghetti. And I don't know if he realized where he was coming to, like the Niagara region.
It's full of Italians and spaghetti.
Full of Italians who specialize in making amazing spaghetti. So
Wow.
I think probably part of the job here should be is to get Thompson into a position where he tries some real Niagara region spaghetti.
He must have had a terrible experience when he was younger to hate spaghetti. Everybody loves spaghetti.
So much so that when somebody says, what's your favorite food, you just go, I hate spaghetti. I'm not answering your question. I just want to talk about spaghetti and how bad it is.
Wow.
I won't move on. This
Wow.
is a bridge.
You must have some bad
It's not a
spaghetti
bridge
in
you done, it's a hill you would die on,
North
right?
Dakota. Maybe they just don't make good spaghetti.
I don't want to say anything bad about North Dakota. We've already sort of figured out that you and I know nothing about Bismarck, North Dakota, so we shouldn't begin to besmirch it with accusations just because we're mad about how he feels about spaghetti. And I am a little angry about it. A little bit disappointed.
It is a little unusual, I will say.
I'll still try to be, objective.
Right.
Relaying how I think his performance is. But in the back of my head, I'm going to be thinking about that comment. Number 2 is a good number. Ian Turnbull's former number.
Ian Turnbull.
We're really at the point in the game where we can make references to 1978 Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman. I think we reached that point. When it's 11-3, you just pick whatever you want to talk about. But it'll be interesting to see how Thompson does.
Yeah. Saying 11-3, you still got the crowd all here, and they're excited still. That's good news.
Okay.
Now batting number 1, Governor Keeper.
Nice pitch started off. That's asserting yourself. That's
a good way to
how do you do?
It's a good way to start for sure.
Yeah. Strike one to Kiefer. Kiefer's doubled today. I've flied out to left to short, doubled, grounder to short. Nice play by Shin.
Nice play by Shin there for the out.
Aside from tossing that one ball away on that kind of weird double play as it transpired, I think weird is a fair word to use to describe it. He's had a really good day.
I think in general the Ironbacks have had a pretty good day in the field there. They've had just a couple mishaps there.
Right. Moore up again. He's been running rampant. Bunted his last time up. That's flied into
shot
left
to left
field. You got a lot into that. A little more than I thought, but that's an F7.
Briggs with a nice catch in left field there for the out. That's 2 out there for the Americans. And Eli Thompson's making quick work here in the top of the 8th inning.
It's not Briggs out and left anymore, though. I don't think.
Now batting
Hubble.
for the Americans, number 18, Dalton Harper.
We'll follow up on that. We'll get our crack crew on the job. Dalton Harper. They could really use a nice easy inning here. Nice pitch. And a little more snap, crackle, and pop going on there.
Thompson's looking pretty good.
Yeah. He's just bringing it. Just bringing it. Like, here you go. I'm throwing hard.
You can hear it
and
way
in the
up here,
strike zone.
too.
Yep, 0-2. I like that.
Yeah, come get me, right?
Remember seeing Luis Severino in Buffalo? It sounded like a gunshot.
Yeah, we weren't even paying attention when he was first pitching, and all it took was one pop in that catcher's mitt.
Tried the off-speed pitch there. Let's try. I love his approach, man. He's just like, let's go.
That's right.
I'm not messing around. I'm not
Just
walking
attack
around.
the hitters, right?
There's no contemplation. It's just like, I mean business here. There it is.
Great
three.
strikeout. Eli Thompson making
My
quick work
goodness.
of the Americans
Where
in
have
the
you been all our lives?
8th
Eli
inning.
Thompson?
1, 2, 3.
That was a good inning.
Going to the bottom of the 8th. 11-3 Americans.
Let's appreciate the BGs a little bit here. You know, times might be a little tough for the Ironbacks right now, but we still have the BGs. Just kind of groove out to that.
Now batting for your Ironbacks, first baseman, number 10, Andrew Bishop.
Matt Kasparis on the mound for Niagara Falls. A member of the SUNY Niagara team, forgive me on that, who actually went 49-0 this season in the NCAA. I believe it's just Division III. The NCAA tends to be a bit of a labyrinth to try to navigate. But yeah, 49-0 is impressive no matter where you're playing. A little bit of a rough ride in the playoffs. I believe they went 2-2 and ended up getting bounced out in the double elimination. But full credit to them. The team has a lot of guys from that wonderful team. Bishop leading it off. It's a little bit outside. That's going to get out of play. That's 11-3. We're looking for some hope. Bishop could get us off on the good foot.
Outside again. It's 2-1.
It's outside.
Way outside for 3-1.
Yeah. Feels like he hasn't quite found his.
Nope.
Hasn't quite loose yet. Outside.
Outside again. I'll take a walk there.
There you go. That's what you need. Bishop.
So Bishop starting things off with a walk, and he's on first.
Now batting second baseman, number 7, Devin Medor.
Devin Medor has been fantastic today. Singled fly to center a couple times and been delightful in the field. That could be two. Nice play. Kiefer turns it himself. That's a double play. Sucks a little bit of life out of the crowd.
Now batting center fielder,
You know, the
number 8,
Americans have been really good in the field.
They have been.
Haven't given them anything.
Between the left side goalie, too. That third baseman's made 3 or 4 great plays today. Curveball there.
That was a good pitch.
Strike 1.
Keanu waited on that one. Just a little too inside to do much with it other than crank it off the net, protecting good old Marin High School, the school that was formerly
Count to
Marin High School.
0-2 here.
Ooh, that's another hit by pitch.
That's,
and you know what? You take that.
Continuing with the theme of a hit batter today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those today. And at this point, you got to take it.
Yeah, hey. 11-3. Can't hold anything back here.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of effort to get out of the way of that one, and why would you?
Bedorosian.
Bryce Petrosian, who's had a rough ride on name pronunciation today. But yeah. Petrosian today, Cade walked, ground to third. There you go.
It's a strike 1 call there.
Kasparis seems to be finding his thing a little bit here. Nice take.
Down low, 1-1 the count.
Looking for a little bottom of the order magic here.
Upstairs.
Granger, number 20.
2-1.
My apologies. Each stroke again.
That was a tough strike
we
call.
Totally missed that as well. That's not Petrosian. Yeah, that's Granger. Okay. Sorry, our apologies to Mr. Granger. Some nice.
Stroke to
That's the
center
old Adam
field.
ball, though. Well struck. Right at him.
Right to the center fielder for the third out. And that's going
That's
to
a
be
bat for Brock Granger.
it for the Ironbacks here in the 8th. Score is 11-3 Americans.
Eli Thompson in again. Had an exciting inning last week. That was one of the highlights so far.
He had a
Was his
great last inning for
Yeah.
sure. He was throwing heat, attacking hitters.
Yep. And he wasn't wasting any time about it.
I think that's the way you got to approach it now going forward, right? Just keep at it.
He's just getting right down to business.
Let's get these fans some donuts, right?
I don't know how good a donuts financial planners make, though.
Well,
That's who's sponsoring this donut giveaway.
okay.
But if you, in order for this to happen, the Ironbacks have to not score a run.
Have
Which
to
is
not
a
give
weird
up
way
any runs.
Oh. So if Thompson gives up nothing here, 10 free donuts.
10
made
free
by
donuts.
your favorite financial planners.
Are going to
No, I'm
ton
sure-
lucky fans in
I'm
this
sure it's
crowd
from a
today.
good donut shop.
That's a lot of pressure to put on Thompson right now.
It is. It's a lot of. It's donut pressure. All right, that's off the end of the bat. I think Keene's got that.
Back.
Nice catch.
One out
There you
here.
go. Look at that. Look how fast these things are happening.
And Thompson making quick work of the Americans here in the last inning and a third.
Nick passed. That's not Nick passed.
Now batting number 20, Nick Past.
He's having a good play day at the
He
plate
looked
here for
different. It
Pass.
must be the dusk light. Overthrew that a bit. Nice pitch.
It's a good strike there. 1-1 the count.
Kicking up a little dust from the catcher's glove.
That's right now. Everybody's excited. Everybody's excited. We're giving away donuts. How are we giving away the donuts?
Thompson with 10 donuts on the line.
So everybody's talking about these free donuts.
A curveball. Curveball he struggled with a little bit, which is
A theme of the day for everybody, I think.
hit by pitches and curveballs,
They're rioting in the streets
finding
here for the free donuts.
wayward curveballs. I think we could sum it up as that. Did he hit his glove?
Take that, 2-2, right out of the catcher's mitt.
I almost thought he hit it with his bat, but I think it would be interference. So
Catcher's interference,
clearly
yeah.
he did not. Thompson looking to put him away. Take care of the past.
Oh, that's
That is going to be hung up there for.
another nice catch by Keene there for the second out, the 9th inning. As we said
Keene
earlier,
looks good out
Thompson's
there.
been really effective.
I remember, I believe in my conversation with Keene, naturally a first baseman, so the outfield's a little bit newer-ish to him, but he looks pretty comfortable out there. Got a great
He's looking
arm.
good. He's
Moves
looking
pretty
good.
well.
Making decent reads out there.
Yeah. Yeah, got a solid jump on that ball. Oh, nicely knocked down by Thompson. Nice job.
There we go. The fans are getting donuts here.
10 donuts.
The fans are getting donuts. Some positive vibes out there in the crowd right now.
This could be a big moment.
The score could
The
be
10 free
11-3,
donut
but donuts are coming to Town Lucky fans when we come back.
Yeah, stay tuned. Chase Hubble leading things off here for the Ironbacks. I made it all the way to the 9th inning before I said Diamondbacks. A little disappointed in myself, but 9 innings. It was a good run. New pitcher for the Americans. They got a lefty into the game now. Chase Hubble trying to get a little something started. Hubble out of Welland, Ontario.
He walked last inning. His only at bat.
I tried to convince all the Welland guys to use a Daniel Romano song as a walk-up. You know, little shout out for Welland. Because there's a song, he does a song called Welland 2020. But they seemed unconvinced.
They weren't having it though,
yeah,
eh?
He's got Johnny Cash's song, so I can't tell him to change his song. Sorry.
Ooh, that's a big cut there by Hubble for 1-1.
You know, for the first home game here in the Perfect Game Collegiate League here in Merton, Ontario, a place where dreams come true again. I think it was a good day.
It has been a great day.
know?
I think the crowd's been really into it. They're sticking around.
Yeah, if you only came here for a win-loss, which is fair. Some people, you do things your way. Maybe you're a little bit disappointed, but I think for those who came for a nice summer day in the glove box of the Niagara region at Taylor Field, you had a good time.
Nothing's better than a
Yep.
summer day, drinking a beer, having a hot dog, watching some baseball.
Some TQ Falls beer at that.
That's right.
What was the beer we had again the other day that we really liked?
Morningstar Cream Ale.
Morningstar Cream Ale. It's good. It's true. There you go.
Takes another walk there for
That's a
Chase
walk.
Hubble. Getting things started
Chase
here in the
Hubble.
bottom of the 9th.
He hung in there. He fought.
Coming to bat, the shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
And the PA guy's just keeping it going. Like, he doesn't care that it's the 9th inning and they're down by a whole lot. That was the best intro today.
You're right. He's trying to start a rally.
You kicked that one out.
Trying to start a rally here.
You kicked out the jams with that announcement. I just wanted to give you some credit there and some props. Yeah.
Trying to get the rally going.
Exactly. Carter Shin.
It's a good day for baseball.
Oh.
Big cut there and a
Like
foul.
Yeah, he felt sort of in between on that swing. Not quite on it. Not even really holding him on. I don't know if, like, maybe take seconds just to avoid the double play. I'm surprised.
Oh.
And
Is that
that's a hit by
another
pitch.
hit batter today? That brings the count to 6 between the two teams.
You know, if my scorecard wasn't so messy, I would total up all these hit by pitches, and I would tell the people listening, watching, an astounding number of hit by pitches.
I'm going to go
Just
with
imagine
6.
that number in your head.
I'm going to go with 6. We know Marcus Butts is up because
Marcus
Kids
Butts
is
was our
playing.
favorite walk-up song. Johnny Cash is pretty good, but something about the song that is.
Just gets you want to up and dance, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe that's why he picked it, Let's get the crowd into it. Let's get them dancing, grooving.
They got a long ways to go, but you know.
Inside,
Oh,
that's
mercy.
count 1-1 there.
Some extra black on the plate.
Ooh.
Oh, took him out there again too. But
That's
what are you gonna do after that pitch got called a strike last time? You're gonna chase that a little bit.
That was a really big cut there for Marcus Butts.
Yeah. I mean, they just need the ball to find a little bit of green. A little bit behind an hour.
And we're getting ourselves a siren.
Exactly. The foul ball siren takes no innings off. It's a hard work, and it's the Ironbacks. This is the philosophy.
That's right. For the hard-working people in this region, right?
That's right.
There
Same
we go
spot.
again with the siren.
He's really working that side of the plate.
He is.
The siren is, yes.
The siren again.
I felt a little muted, though, because it was 2 in a row. They're like, taking them outside and outside. 2-2. That's a good battle.
It's been a good at bat.
Yeah.
2-2 count. 2 on. Bottom of the 9th.
Long shadows taking over here in the fields. It's a great time of day for baseball. Oh, that's a poke. But again, right at him.
To the left fielder.
Yeah. That was sonically pleasing, but didn't really give us much in the way of.
It had to be at least the 3rd or 4th time today we hit it right at an outfielder.
Yep. Alex Keane, who I think's looked pretty good out in right field today.
He has.
Hasn't got a lot at the plate. He's singled his first time up, 4-3. Couple Ks.
Oh,
Goodness.
this is not a broken record. This is another hit batter.
Another hit by pitch. My goodness.
Bringing the total to 7 today.
Really? It may land in a spot that I can't use all my fingers to count it, which means, it's good that I haven't tried.
We're running in the territory of more hit batters than hits today.
Bases loaded.
The Ironbacks could use some damage here. They could really use a couple runs.
Tillsonburg, Ontario. Get a little bit of that tobacco country power.
The catcher, number 11, Connor Gagans.
Big Trailer Park Boys fan. I'm not sure how that'll work out in this particular scenario.
As long as you have glasses like Bubbles, you might be okay.
Right. What would Ricky do in a situation like this? Ball 1, bases loaded. A little murmur of possibility works its way through the crowd. That's
Outside, 2-0.
Looks like he's just open up a little too much on these pitches. Just not
overthrowing it a little bit.
They haven't really got a ton aside from that loud fly ball to left. That's a good pitch.
There's a strike in
go.
there.
He found it there.
2-1 count.
Strike, 2-1. Good for Gatens to make him work. 2-1.
He can swing around. There's a lot of open field there in left field. Ooh, takes the pitch. 3-1.
The man in blue.
That was a close pitch there, but the count is 3-1.
We'll take it. It's 3-1. Gave it right back.
Pays him back. Strike in the corner.
Giveth and taketh away.
That is a full count here. The Connor Gatens.
That's a full count. That gets some of the leather lungs, Meriton folk.
Ooh,
way behind
he
on that.
chases one upstairs for the strikeout.
Right
Ironbacks.
Number 10, Andrew Bishop.
Ironbacks down to the last out here in the 9th.
Bases loaded, 2 out.
Bases loaded for
Mel
Andrew
Roman
Bishop.
situated himself behind home plate. Oh, goodness. That's a pop-up. And that's it. That's the game. Fittingly, Shane Prey ends the game.
Americans 11, Ironbacks 3.
Because following the game right now, we've got the Party Rock Band and we have Laura at the beer cart. So stick around. The party is just
That's still a reason to stick around here at the field. We got the Party Rock Band featuring the man who opened the game, Corey Veal on guitar. I believe. I may be wrong on that. But it should be fun. There's still beer here. But we'll be back here next Friday.
That's right.
Excited about it. It was a lot of fun.
Join us again here
Shout
at
out to
George
everybody who
Taylor
came here
Field.
today. It's fun.
Ironbacks home opener.